Tonight on NewsNight, friends and fans gather to remember Mac Miller in Frick Park. Plus, what Pittsburgh Public Schools are doing to combat inequality in achievement. And we'll take a look at the latest sports and national news. NewsNight begins now. Good evening and welcome to NewsNight. It's September 12th, 2018, and I'm Sarah Gibson. We begin tonight with news from Pittsburgh Public Schools on performance. In a review of the local school district done by the Council of Great City Schools, it was revealed that black students in Pittsburgh were only half as likely as white students to be enrolled in gifted or talented programs. Now the Pittsburgh Public Schools are doing something to combat it. Pittsburgh administrators plan to test a pilot program that would screen all students between 2nd and 6th grade to identify as formal candidates for formal gifted testing. If the program, scheduled to begin in October, is successful, it would be expanded to over 2,000 of the 2nd grade students in the district. Previously, students were only formally given testing if recommended by a teacher or parent. According to the experts, one way to eliminate the inequality is to scan every child as soon as possible. Closer to campus, the man who committed an assault and robbery at a convenience store at the corner of Boulevard of the Allies and Smithfield Street has been apprehended. 46-year-old Timmy L. Lewis was apprehended near 6th Avenue and Smithfield Street, just a few blocks away from where, 3 days before, he robbed a convenience store and stabbed the clerk who tried to stop him. The victim was sent to the hospital in stable condition, aided by the Point Park police. When taken into custody of the police, he admitted to the crime and told police he threw away most of the money he stole because it was covered in blood. Lewis faces charges of aggravated assault, robbery, and possessing instruments of crime. The assault occurred around 400 feet from Boulevard Apartments, and while Point Park police were on the scene to help, many students report not receiving a formal point alert notification for the incident. Moving from the Crime Watch to the Weather Watch, we're joined in studio by Andrew Brinker with the weather. Andrew?
All right, thank you, Sarah. We've had an interesting couple of weeks here in downtown Pittsburgh for the start of our semester. Lots of rain in the past couple of days. It does look like that trend is going to continue as we look at Thursday and Friday. We've got some thunderstorms rolling in, pretty clear for the weekend, but then again on Monday and Tuesday, we do have some showers coming, and then the rest of the week looks clear. As far as temperature, we had a pretty hot couple of weeks to start the semester. That changed a couple of days ago when we dipped into the low 60s. That trend will not continue. As you can see, we shoot back up into the mid 80s, and we will dip slowly throughout the week. On Thursday and Friday, we will even back out in the high 60s and low 70s. So for those of you who are hoping for sweater weather, I'm sorry we're not quite there. Hopefully over the next couple of weeks we'll cool down and we can break out those sweaters. Thanks, Sarah.
On the other side of the break, Pittsburghers and fans of Mac Miller's music remember the rap icon. Plus, we'll have Sarah Ray Winooski in studio to give us the latest in regional news, and later, in the world of sports, we'll be right back.
I was you, I'd wanna be me too. I'd wanna be me too. I'd wanna be me too. If I was you, I'd wanna be me too. I'd wanna be me too. I'd wanna be me too. If I was you, I'd wanna be me too. I'd wanna be.
Spending just 7 minutes climbing stairs each day cuts your risk of a heart attack in half over 10 years. Sure, elevators are convenient, but you burn twice the number of calories just going upstairs than you do while jogging. Think about how long you spend waiting for elevators. The average person spends the equivalent of 2 years waiting for elevators over the course of their lifetime. Don't let that be you. Save time and increase energy. Next time, take the stairs.
Thousands of fans and friends of Pittsburgh rapper Mac Miller gathered last night at Frick Park to remember the late artist. Miller died Friday at the age of 26. Thousands of people gathered at the Blue Slide Playground to listen to Mac Miller's music and remember the artist. Miller's debut album was named Blue Slide Park after the playground in Frick Park. Jessica Levins knew Miller and told the Pittsburgh City paper, quote, "I think his spirit is here tonight. I think everybody here felt his spirit. I don't know if he knew how many people loved him," end quote. WPXI reports a petition to rename the park after Miller has garnered at least 300 signatures. Joining us in the studio with more regional news is Sarah Ray Renewski.
Thanks, Sarah. Early Monday morning, a huge gas explosion took place in Beaver County, leaving the valley in flames. Officials confirmed the cause of the explosion to a new natural gas pipeline installed by Energy Transfer Corporation. According to Center Police Chief Barry Kramer, the explosion brought down 6 electrical towers and left 1,500 people without power. The flames only lasted about 2 hours without much help needed from emergency assistance. Luckily, no injuries were reported, but one home and a couple of garages were left damaged. This terrifying explosion forced 25 to 30 homes to evacuate and Central Valley School District to cancel classes. One resident, Tom DeMarco, said, quote, "My house started shaking. The sky was pure red from the flames shooting," end quote. According to the Post-Gazette, after further investigation, the cause of the explosion was found to be due to landslides. The pipelines that caused the explosion had only been operating for a week and were not yet strong enough to sustain the amounts of heavy rainfall that occurred over the weekend. Chief Kramer and his team are looking into further investigation to ensure that future explosions do not occur. A shooting in Wilkinsburg was under investigation Monday morning. According to WTAE, Allegheny County Police responded to the 911 call claiming a man had been shot in the head. Police pronounced the male victim dead at the scene of an abandoned building on the 1600 block of Langton Road at about 6 p.m. Tuesday morning. The victim was identified as 18-year-old Khalil Andrew Logan. According to the Post-Gazette, when county police interviewed the criminal, Deshir Davenport, he explained that Logan and some friends went to an abandoned building to get high. Davenport told police that he does not do drugs but went with the group anyways. He also mentioned that he had problems in the past, yet refused to tell officers what those problems were. Davenport explained that he believed Logan was trying to pull a gun on him, so he pulled out his own gun and used it on Logan first. Davenport then ran from the scene of the crime and threw away his pink semi-automatic 9mm handgun. No evidence was found that Logan possessed a handgun when he was shot. Police did not arrest Davenport. According to the Post-Gazette, Davenport was charged with homicide, carrying a firearm without a license, and tampering in evidence. That's all I have for regional news. Now back to Sarah Gibson at the desk.
Thanks, Sarah. On the other side of the break, the East Coast is bracing for Hurricane Florence. We'll have the details next. Plus, Lindsay Carson will break down the latest in sports. We'll be right back.
One is the loneliest number that you'll ever do.
What's one word to describe CAB?
Welcoming.
Community.
Creative.
Experiences.
Family. Openness.
Pineapple.
The Campus Activities Board is a student-run organization that consists of 7 different committees. Each focuses on event planning, marketing, and administrative activities. Join us in organizing the juiciest events on campus, from late-night bingo to festive dances to our team bonding meetings. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Point Park Cap, or like us on Facebook at Campus Activities Board at Point Park University.
Good evening
and welcome to NewsNight. I'm Josh Krupp alongside Jess Popichak.
Defending his decision to kick out 15 Cuban diplomats from the United States.
Thanks, Allison. Fitness on Demand has returned to Point Park.
Residents fear that Mount Agung will have a repeat of 1963's eruption.
Two-star NFL quarterbacks made the headlines this week after wrapping up.
Thank you so much for joining us this evening. That's your news tonight. For Nick Tomarello, I'm Alex Grubbs. Have a great night.
According to the National Hurricane Center, Category 4 Hurricane Florence is expected to make landfall in the Carolina States by Friday morning. The center says the storm is moving at 17 miles per hour and winds have reached 130 miles per hour. The storm is predicted to stall before making landfall and dump additional winds and rain, which may cause up to 13 feet of flooding in some areas. The National Weather Service is calling Florence the storm of a lifetime and that the amount of damage is unpredictable. The storm has already caused nearly 1 million citizens to evacuate their homes along the coast, and a number of states have declared a state of emergency. Shifting our focus from the radar to the scoreboard, we have Lindsay Carson in studio with the latest in sport news. Lindsay?
On Saturday, September 8th, Serena Williams played in the U.S. Open final against Naomi Osaka. During the match, Serena received a coaching violation. This upset Serena, and she defended herself against the ref by telling him she did not receive coaching and she is not a cheater. She wanted him to make it known that she is not a cheater, and she demanded an apology. The ref then went on to give her another penalty for verbal abuse. The match resulted in Naomi winning and Serena losing. Many people were outraged by the events of the match. People were saying that male tennis players often argue with referees and receive no repercussions, so it was wrong of the ref to give Serena a penalty. Many believe Serena would have won had she not faced the turbulations during the game. Of course, Serena was upset about her loss, but she made sure to recognize Naomi's talents and congratulate her on her big win. Get ready, Pittsburgh Penguins fans. Training camp begins this Friday, September 14th. Dana Hines, the head equipment manager for the Penguins, took to Twitter to post a picture of the new goalie masks belonging to Matt Murray, Tristan Jarry, Casey DeSmith, and Anthony Peters. He also posted a picture of the locker room all set up and ready to go. Based off quotes from the players written in the media recently, they all seemed eager to get back in the swing of things. I'm sure fans are anxious to see what the season holds since general manager Jim Rutherford made some decent changes this offseason, like trading away Connor Sherry and Matt Hunwick and signing Jack Johnson and getting back Matt Cullen. But I, for one, am excited to see what this season holds. This Sunday, September 9th, the Pittsburgh Steelers played their first regular season game against the Cleveland Browns. The game didn't go as well as fans of either teams had hoped. It ended in a tie with a final score of 21-21. Cleveland Browns fans are glad that they tied rather than lost, but to Pittsburgh Steelers fans, anything other than a win is a loss, so they weren't happy. There's something that fans of both teams seem to agree on, and that's that a game should not have ended in a tie. Many people are saying they believe the NFL should change their rules so it's not possible that a game could end in a tie. That would give fans a better ending even if their team loses, because a tie just seems too inconclusive. And now back to Sarah.
Thanks for the update, Lindsay. And thank you so much for joining us. That's your news tonight. For Lindsay, Andrew, Sarah, and the whole NewsNight crew, I'm Sarah Gibson. Have a great night.